squad like, what? In the field like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah. In the field like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, yeah. In the field like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems, you don't want.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, in Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Jahan, what I need? Right there, 54 Mike. Watch the run, watch the run.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8.
Let's go defense. Let's go defense. Slam. 2. Hey, wahoo.
Cousins now looking deep downfield. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is third and 8.
Come on, baby.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
At their own 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
That's the way. Say it.
They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Prescott. Eluding and a big loss here as he's taken down. Eric Berry, the safety, comes flying in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. He'll return it from the 6. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
What we got? What we got? What we got? One. Here we go.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Gun. 54
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. On 2nd down and 4. Prescott. And he'll get this back to to the 32-yard line. Intended that time for Cooper. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
First down, Minnesota.
He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. 1st and 10 right at the 20. To throw, Cousins. And this one complete to Smith. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. No score after 1 on EA Sports. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yeah, so make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Ready? Got double tight. Double tight. 4 down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Man, I got you.
Listen to me.
Mike 5-4.
Hey, exit. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A gain of 28 yards there, and give him a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning it into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. That goes for a gain of 31. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
He's checking crap. Kill.
Prescott on first down. And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Prescott now from the 50. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Prescott yet again. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this will be taken at the 13. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
What are these? Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Who that? Hey, Steve 6. Where's the hot?
From the 38, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. The reception good for 7. It's third down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
Alpha.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Hey, we're good, we're good.
Mike 55, Mike 55.
He's tired of me. Mike 55, Mike 55. Let's go, baby. Place your heart up.
Now Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play. Off the play fake, Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
You ain't doing nothing today. Quick.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike.
All day.
54 Mike, 54 Mike.
Throwing is Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Bailey's kick is good. And that will make it 6-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Here I come. We're going to 52.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Cooper was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Right there, 54, right there, right there. 50. Watch the run, watch the run, watch the run. 54 is Mike, 54 is
To the air again, Prescott. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Trey Wayne's the Michigan State man right there in coverage. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Final play of the half. Prescott looking for Cooper. That's complete. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Prescott to throw it. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. It's a big play for the Cowboys on 3rd. 41 yards.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Let's get off the field. Check. Cross.
They'll try to sweep with Elliott. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down.
Hey, kill.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Steps, and a big loss here as he's taken down. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph. You think back to last year, Dak Prescott was sacked 56 times, second most in the league behind Deshaun Watson of the Texans. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
we've
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Jalen Smith, who took a huge step forward last year, in on the tackle for Dallas.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
They run it again with Cook. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Here we go. Good route there.
Right there. 54.
Hey, high 7.
Cousins from the gun on third. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Anthony Brown there on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
To Hunt. Ready? 54. Right, 54. Did you get the ball? You think you gonna get this? You think you gonna get this?
Again, it's Cook. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Cousins on first down. Oh, no, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. He's at the 50, the 40, 20. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Last year, Dak Prescott had 3 fourth-quarter comebacks, and he's in search of another one right now. They go to Elliott again. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Watch the run.
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jameis Olawale, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th. A very important extra point there, up and good, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. Elliott, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Following the interception, Cousins. It's hauled in by Doxson. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On second down, Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 18. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cook, and he's going to have the first down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Cousins to throw it, and almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
55, my God.
To throw, Cousins. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Hey, no, easy.
Play fake. Cousins. He's got his man. This is Doxson.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Gun.
Mike 5-4.
I want that. Give me that ball, defense. Give me that.
To throw again on second down. Cousins. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
A big gain of 28 as the drive continues.
I know it was a completion, but probably not the best decision to throw the ball into the middle of the field here. No timeouts. Give a ton of credit to him making the catch and finding a way to get to the sideline and get out of bounds.
Hey, Delta.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Hey, check.
Cousins to throw. He'll dump this off to Cook. Cook stripped. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills.
There he goes, Amari Cooper. Touchdown, Cowboys. Amari Cooper, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now Cousins. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And now it's second down. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you describe that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Oh, I thought you could go on the field, but okay, I see you. Here's Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final two plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Cousins. And now another one thrown incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. This entire defensive unit, Charles, they've really put in a good shift tonight, so to speak.
I like how you phrased that. This has been a good shift. They punched the clock the entire evening. They ought to have shirts that have their names on them in the front to let them know these are blue-collar workers who are getting it done.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Right there. 54, right
Hey,
there.
let's go.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
First.
Hey, watch 7. Check, Mike.
Cousins to throw for it on fourth. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
I know he ain't got it. Why? Check 55.
They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Randy Gregory in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. And this is Cook with a grab. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive, as this is 3rd and 10. He's back to throw. High throw, but the catch is made. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down. Well, Charles, this one's going to be hard to digest. You take the lead into the fourth quarter, lose that lead. Maybe they felt like they let this one slip away a little bit.
They will definitely feel like that because when you have a lead in the fourth quarter, all you talk about doing is finishing and closing a game out. But when you flip it over, how about that? Making the comeback and then finishing the game, sealing it on defense, they will feel jubilant in their locker room.
So for the Cowboys, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch and you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause I told no risk. Why bet you wanna be famous, They LA they made us, You know I'm nice and Davis. This for the haters, I make a lot of new money, When the not savers, you be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, watch out for that. I never switch, you never switch. I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the
touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long, say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit, and slick then hit. Back then, you out of zip. Blood is back then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things pull out the VIP. Suck to a nut, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip.